Okay, right, so it's small, it's wider now, thanks. I can record, okay. Okay, so it will be a backup lesson for everyone as well. Okay, so let's try the first question. I will go through the first part. Okay, so I'll zoom in. Okay, so for those who missed out yesterday's lesson for whichever reason, okay, so now A is this, so there are two questions over here. We are supposed to list down the elements of A and also find the number of n bracket A means to find the number of elements. Okay, so list down the elements. So first part 1. So sorry, let me zoom in. So how do we what is the letters inside this thing itself? STRATEGY. So the key thing over here is all letters must be unique, don't repeat. So look at the first alphabet. We have a S, then we put a comma. We have a T, we put a comma. We put a R, put a comma. A so far no repeat, comma, T. So do we put a T again? Yes or no? No, right? Because we don't repeat. So T we remove, then the next one will be E, comma, G don't have, yes, comma, and a Y, and that's all. Okay, can see? Okay, so from here, let me just adjust a bit. So from here, so we have answered the first question, list down the elements. Now the second question, we are supposed to find the number of elements. I repeat again, n bracket A means number of elements, so we just need to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So n bracket A, which is the set, equals to 7. That's all. Okay? So that will be for the first question. Anyone can recall, yesterday I mentioned about this natural number. Natural number starts with? Anyone? Natural number starts with? I will start to call your names, so I try to memorize your names. I have this class photo over here based on last year, so I want to see your name and your faces. And yes, so maybe I'll get Andy, right? Andy, can I get you to start off first? Natural number start with? Okay, very good. Okay, how do we remember, for those who can't remember, natural number like long time ago, nature, long time ago, people start counting when there's animal. That's how I remember myself. Natural number, oh, 1 cow, 2 cow, 1 horse, 2 horse. So they start counting 1. So whole number, when you see the word whole number start with a 0. Okay, so natural number start with a 1. So this, anyone have tried, you can check the answer. If you are faster than me, please continue and try it on your own. Answers are at the back. So this is something that is slightly different. So A equals to, X is a natural number, we start from 1, 2. So how do we stop? 9? Stop at 9? Why not 10? Why not 11? Oh, just a question. Okay, good try, but why not other numbers? Or how do we stop? So in this particular case, they don't give us a universal set, right? They didn't give us a constraint. There are some other questions you look, right? They say smaller than 10, they give us a range. But this question, no range. They didn't mention anything else. So, it's continuous. So you just put ... to indicate that it goes on and on. Okay, goes on and on. So that's how we present in this manner. Okay, so next question. In fact, this is a question I want to go through, but the rest of the question you can try on your own. Okay, next question, they give us inequality. So first thing they tell us is an integer, and the range belongs to this. So, I've do the second part. So for this question, the second part, so number of A is, the number of elements will be infinity. Okay, infinity because it's going on and on. Okay, there's no ending. Okay, next. So let me know if I'm going too fast. Okay, next. Okay, now the F itself, we have set A mentioning there's integer with this range, -3 to 3. So integer means it's like whole number with positive and negative sign. So basically what we need to do is, just include all the numbers -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3, because the inequality sign there's a smaller or equals to, there's an equal. So you include the numbers there. Okay, so this is part 1. Then part 2, number of elements. So we just need to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's still also 7 for this. Okay? So far, any question? Can I get you all to try just by yourself? Can I get you all to try B and D? B and D. B and D first. The days of the week starting with the letter T. So how will you present that? Can see? Oh. Okay, let me zoom out. I think some of you are still copying. Okay, try B and D. Okay, I'll try this. Still can see? Okay, so those who are done with taking down the answer, please try the next question. I'll try to go full form because in case they need to spell out the whole day, like Tuesday, Thursday. Yeah, for exam, for practice. Good. Okay, very fast. The answers are in the back, so you can cross check. Yeah, so you can cross check the answers. Okay, great. Okay, for those who are faster, you can proceed on to try other questions that's mentioned, or even any other random question. The answers are at the back. Okay, I see most of you getting the good. Okay, try others question on your own. Yes, good, very good. Okay, I think most of you got it, so I will not go through these two particular questions. Anyway, the answers are at the back once again. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next part because I wish to go through the next part of the worksheet already, 3B. Okay, so okay, now I'm going to go through L. Okay, so this is another common type of question that you might get, okay, during the exam or during the test itself. So they mentioned that x is divisible by 3 and the range is from 0, more than 0 and less than 12. Take note that there's no equal sign there. So the tricky part, you must take note. I think this one, attention for a while, please. Just look up. There's no equal sign, so please do not include the number 0 and don't include the number 12. Okay, there's no equal sign. Okay, so it's from 1 to 11. Okay, so basically they are trying to say that from 1 to 11, which number is divisible by 3? So basically, A is 3, 6, 9, and no more. That's all. Because these are the only numbers within 1 to 11 that is divisible by 3. Okay, so part 2, quite straightforward, and A will be equals to 3. Alright. Okay. So you can see from the question, there's a lot like cube numbers, so you must be very familiar. What is the perfect square? Perfect square. Do you all know what's perfect square, by the way? Perfect square? Perfect cube? Anyone? Oh, no. Names. Very shy to answer. Just now was a guy, so I don't look for. Okay, honey. Maybe just share perfect square? Okay. Do you remember what's that? Okay, don't worry. Perfect square, let me just share, is a number that you can be square rooted. So how do you remember what's a perfect square? So a very easy way of remembering and recapping is perfect square is 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, and all this number is 1, 4, 9, 16. And so on and so forth. So next one is 25, 36. Okay? So as we practice more math, right, you will realize that these numbers are very familiar because you're going to use this quite frequently. Number pattern, you're going to use that. sometimes you, okay, for this type of question, we also have perfect square. So perfect cube, the same thing. If you can't remember offhand, you just cube the number. 1 cube, 2 cube, 3 cube, 4 cube, what are the numbers? So these are the perfect square and perfect cube. Okay? Okay, so, right. So these are the two questions you can do on your own. I will skip the next one. So O will, this is not, yeah, this O. So it's an integer that's ending with a 9. So, and it include 9 to 90. So these are the set of numbers. So A will be equals to 9. Can you shout out all the possible number? 9? Anyone? Next will be ending with a 9. 19, thank you. 19 and 29 and 39, 49, 59, 69, 79, 89, and any more? 90, do we include? No, ending with a 9, so 90 is starting with a 9, so we don't include that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So number of elements in A will be 9. Okay, so that will be this question. Okay, so far so good. Okay, if I'm too fast, please let me know. Okay, the bottom few questions are the one that is more complicated. Give us equation. Okay, give us equation, expression, and whatnot. So we need to solve those things, inequality. Okay, so how to solve this one? Need to bring back a bit of algebra. So if you are not too strong in algebra, so you might struggle a bit over here. But just I will do a recap over here as well. Okay, so this one, x equals to 2k plus 1. And the integer is, the k is a positive integer that's less than 5. So basically what they are trying to say is k is less than 5 means k is 1, either 1, 2, 3, or 4. That's the value of k. You all know why is that so? Let me shift a bit. They say k is a positive integer. So what's the first positive integer? Is it 0 or 1? 1, very good. 0 is not neutral, no positive, no negative. So positive integer that's less than 5. So it starts from 1, 2, 3, 4, but less than 5 doesn't include the 5, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so k we know that, oh, now k is 1, 2, 3, 4. So all we need to do is we start the k inside the value here. X is 2k plus 1. So how do we start? We just need to put as, x equals to, first value is 2 times 1 plus 1, which is equals to 3. So x is 3. So next, we sub 2 inside. X is 2 times 2 plus 1. So x is 5. So this is the first value, second value. So then we continue to do, then x is 7 and x is 9. Okay, so the four values will be, so basically A will be equals to 3, 5, 7, and 9. Okay, due to the space constraint, I'm not working on all the four values. So basically, you sub in 1 inside here. I repeat again, sub in 1 inside here to find the first value, 3. Sub 2 inside the k, find the second value, 5. Sub 3 inside the k, we find the value 7. We sub 4 inside the k, we find the 9. Okay, so far. So therefore, the set over here will be this. Let me highlight, there's too many numbers over here, so the answer will be this. So this is for part 1. Okay, of course, part 2, number of A, quite straightforward, will be just four numbers, 4 elements inside. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so for the next part G, is that G? No, S. Okay, in the lesson just yesterday, I mentioned about this thing itself, the root. Anyone can recall? What is the root of the equation? Means what? The answer or the solution. I think I heard something. Very good. Solution of the, basically we are finding the solution of the equation of this. So we need to solve, basically. So how do we solve this? If you recall your algebra, okay, this is a zero product rule. Two numbers times together equals 0. Basically, it's A equals to 0, a times b equals to 0, right? Means a equals to 0 or b equals to 0. Okay, so basically in this case is x plus 2 must be equal to 0 or x minus 5 must be equal to 0. Okay? So when we want to solve this, remember there are three ways. One is quadratic equation, which I will share with you later. Quadratic equation, that means ABC. Remember the ABC? X equals to minus b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac. Recall? Ring a bell? Okay, that one is one way of solving it. Second way of solving it is make the right hand side equal to 0. Then you factorize the left hand side. So this is factorized. So after you factorize, this time this equals 0. So this one must be 0, or the second one must be a 0. So I'm just giving a very quick recap. Okay, I'm not going to dwell too much on the algebra now. Okay, but if you still can't remember, don't worry for now. I will practice and go back again. Okay, so this time this equals 0, so this must be 0 or this must be 0. So x plus 2 is 0. So x equals to minus 2. Thank you. Because just bring across. X minus 5 equals 0, so therefore x bring across to 5 will be equals to 5. So these are the two answers. So therefore, A will be equals to bracket minus 2 and 5. Answer. So I highlight the answer. And number of elements will be just 2 lah. So this one quite straightforward. N bracket A equals to 2. Okay. Moving on. Okay, for those who are even faster and finish all this and check your answer, you can move on to your next. Sorry, I thought I'm a bit too fast. So let me, those who cannot get the answer, I haven't copied down the answer, you can take it down. Okay, I'll repeat this portion again. So you try to solve this. So how to solve this? This time this equals 0. So is this x plus 2 must be 0 or x minus 5 must be a 0. So we solve this with x minus 2. This one is x equals to 5. So these are the two values. These two values got it. Number of A will be. Okay, natural number once again for the next question. Natural number means starts from 1. And this is an inequality. So how do we solve the inequality? So 3x minus 1 is smaller or equals to 9. So I bring across the 1, becomes plus 1. Then 3x must be more than 10, smaller or equals to 10, sorry. Then after which, divide by 3, because 3x is more than 10, so it's 10 over 3, divide. Okay, so this is the equation, or rather solving of the inequality. Very similar to equation. You just bring the number across and divide, try to solve the x, so divide by 3 over here. So x is smaller or equals to 10 over 3. So it's actually a fraction. It's not a natural number. So then we have to convert. So 10 over 3 is actually equals to 3 and 1/3. So therefore we know that, okay, so A is a natural number, so it starts from 1, then 2, and must be smaller than 3. So 1, 2, 3. Therefore this answer. So far okay? So I'm bringing you through example. I thought that you're going to help you to see more clearly a different way of presenting the set language. This is all the set builder notation. Set builder notation, the one that's harder one I mentioned. So this is how they use all this. Okay, then of course the second part will be number of A will be 3. Okay, last two questions over here. Okay, once again, the u will be to find the root of the equation of this, so we need to solve this. So this is slightly harder, we need to solve. Okay, we factorize the left hand side, so x squared minus 1 squared equals 0 is x plus 1, x minus 1 equals to 0. So therefore is x plus 1 equals to 0 or x minus 1 equals to 0. So therefore x is minus 1 or x is 1. These two answer. Okay, so I repeat again. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to use the a squared minus b squared formula. A squared minus b squared, if you can recall. We factorize the left hand side. So how to factorize this? Factorize a squared minus b squared is a plus b, a minus b. Then left hand side is equal to 0 or the right hand side equals to 0. This term is 0 and we solve x minus 1 and x equals to 1. So these are the two numbers. So therefore a will be equals to bracket minus 1 and a 1. So these are the two numbers. And of course once you got this, number of a will be simple, which is just 2. Okay, so that will be for this question, solving. Okay, last one, I want to just bring across to highlight to you, especially those who are aiming, if they go for tricky question, or rather they set tricky question, this will be differentiating the A1 and the A2 maybe. Okay, so for this question, you need to consider all different values. So first thing first, they give us two alphabet A and a B. They say x equals to a squared plus b squared. So first thing is we must know what is the range of the value of a. So is 1 to 4 or more than 1 and less than 4. So is very good. 2 and 3. Thank you. And b 2, 3, 4. Thank you. 2, 3, 4 because it's more than 1 and less than 5. So these are the few values you need to put in. So we need to do all the different permutations. We need to say we sub the 2 and the 2 inside here first. Then we sub the 2 and the 3 inside here. We sub the 3 and the 2 inside here. So we try all the different combinations to find all the different values. So far, understand what I'm saying? So because there are two values for A, so you must put 2 and 2 first, then 2 and 3, then 2 and 4. So we try all the different combinations. So it's going to be a bit tedious over here, but the concept is once you got this concept, it will not be too hard. So first number, so I use A equals to 2, B equals to 2. Okay, so therefore it will be 2 square plus 2 square, which is equals to 8. So second possibility, A equals to 2, but B equals to 3. So it's 2 square plus 3 square, which is 9 plus 4 is 13. So the third scenario is when A equals to 2 still, but B equals to 4. So it's 2 square plus 4 square. Thank you, 20. Then we continue to go on. Then now we all use up all the A's already. Then we use A equals to 3 now. Then A equals to 3, but B equals to 2. So we try all the different combinations. I'm not going to list down everything. So all the combination 2, 2, then 2, 3, then 2, 4, then 3, 2, 3, 3, and 3, 4. Then we have all the combinations. I put the star here is because it's slightly harder, not so common, but good to know if you happen to see this. Okay, I will not list down everything. Okay, I will not list down everything. As usual, I will put this video, I'm videoing now, I put this video onto the Padlet. So anyone that's lost halfway through, cannot focus too much, okay, you can go back to the video and watch it. Okay? Okay, so we shall move on. As mentioned, this one I will not continue, so I put dot to be continued on your own. Okay, so let me just pause the video. Okay, question 6. So first question they ask about number of elements. So this one quite straightforward, right? Anyone can shout the answers straight away. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 mark straight away. Second question, they are asking us, is ruler an element? Remember this symbol stands for is an element of. So is ruler an element of A? Yes or no? Is there a ruler inside? No. So straight away there's a no for that. So first answer I will just write down is 4. Second answer is no. Ruler is not inside the set. Then is this stapler with the bracket an element of A? Yes or no? Who? Okay, this one I need everyone to participate. Who say no? Put up a hand. Okay, shy. 1, 2. Okay, I will repeat the question again. Part C is stapler with the bracket over here an element of A. Who say no? Put up a hand. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Who say yes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you. Thank you for participating. So the answer, good try. the tricky part over here, let me just put a star here. If you recall what I said yesterday, when you would use the symbol and element of what's supposed to be on the left hand side, what's supposed to be over here, must be a, is it a set or an element? Must be an element, remember? And on the right hand side must be a set. Because element, this is an element of this set. So, over here, the problem over here, right? This is a set. The problem over here is because of the bracket over here. When you put a bracket with a stapler over here, oh sorry. If you put a bracket with a stapler over here, it will mean that this is actually a set. Okay, so I hope that those who put up the hand say no, you have understood that this actually with a bracket is a set. So it's a tricky question. So, okay, there's a news. Okay, so if let's say the question state, instead of doing this, right, let's say part C they state is stapler an element of A. Then this is correct. This is yes. But if there's a bracket there, that means it's no. Because it becomes a set already. Okay, so I hope I explain a bit on why is this not a. You can see the difference between part B and part C. Part B they don't put a bracket, the ruler. You can see that? And part C they put an additional bracket. So now it becomes a set. Okay, so part D. Suggest a universal set for set A. Okay, good job. Pen, pencil, stapler, and what's that, eraser? Yep, so this is stationary. Okay. Okay, I always confuse with that. Stationary is a A-R-Y or E-R-Y? You're also confused? A-R-Y? Stationary, thank you. Okay, stationary. Okay, so that's a universal set. So part E, write down a set B such that B is a proper subset of A. So there are three conditions that's given, so this is another star here. So it's a proper subset is smaller than A, and there are three elements inside, and pen is not an element of B. So how do we write that? So there's only three elements, and pen is not, and it's a proper subset. Anyone can do this? So basically what they're trying to, because A is, we write here, pen, pencil, stapler, and an eraser. Okay, so now they say B cannot have a pen, so we cannot have a pen here. Because the fact that it's a proper subset, so everything over here must be under here as well. So it's pencil, stapler, and eraser. Okay, so there are three elements just nice, 1, 2, and 3. So it satisfies all the condition that is required. So far okay? So I repeat one more time. Okay, I repeat one more time. So first condition is B must be a proper subset. So proper subset must be lesser than these four. Must have either one of them. Must be less, cannot be equal, cannot be 4. So either one element, 2 element, or 3 element. Okay, so in this case, they say that they have 3 elements inside, and there's no pen inside. So just nice, we just remove a pen, and just put down the 3 others. Then there will be a B, for B already. Okay? Right. Okay, moving on. Question 8. Okay, let's try. I would like you all to try first before I go through the answer. So spend 2 minutes. Very fast. 2 minutes. Is it element of? Is it not an element of? Okay, I'll review the answer over here. So first question is element of, because it's 2 that's inside, so we just put the element 2, and therefore the answer will be valid. Second question. This is a null set. Those who can't remember, this is a null set. It's actually equals to empty set. So basically, it's a basket without anything inside. So it's empty. Okay, so when it's empty, zero itself is an element. Zero, we can have an element 0. So therefore, 0 is not an element of an empty set. Okay, so therefore, it's not an element of, which I see most of you got it correct. Well done. And part C, I previously mentioned also, with there's a difference when there's a comma and without a comma. So n itself is a whole, is just one element, so there's no n inside. So therefore, we have individual a, comma, n, comma, t. So it's individual elements. So we cannot like this and combine them and become a word n. Okay, so it's not an element of that. And last but not least, this is also not an element. I hope that you have learned from the question above because of the bracket. So this bracket, we cannot have a bracket there. Okay? All good? Okay, so moving on to the next question, 9. So we are now supposed to practice using proper subset and not a proper subset. So what's the condition? Remember, when we use this proper subset, proper means without the equal sign below. So what's supposed to be on the left hand side, what's supposed to be on the right hand side? Can you recall? Left and right, this must be, is it element or set? Element, and this one will be set. Is it correct, everyone? So this is element, is set. Okay, so this one not quite right, huh? But don't worry, but good try. So this is a subset, both must be a set. Both must be a set. So if you can recall, when I write it down over here, let me see if I write it down. Okay. Okay, I think it's in the other note itself. This one. In the previous note I mentioned, so when it's a subset, right, it must be a set, subset. This set is a subset of another set. So therefore, both must be set. So we cannot have an element inside over here. Okay, so that's a recap. Okay, so now in this case, the very first question, I'm going to just go through because this is not even a set anymore. This is an element. So first of all, this is wrong. The wrong format. Okay, so this is a wrong format. Therefore, this is definitely not a proper subset. Okay. So part B, A with a bracket, set over here, a set with only A element inside, and a set with A, B, C inside. Or therefore, this must be a proper subset. Because first of all, both are set. These two both are set. This is a set with an A, this is a set with an ABC. So both set, then we compare. So this set is smaller than this because this A, there's an A here, but additional 2 other elements. So therefore, it's a proper subset. Okay? Okay, part C. Anyone can guess? Is it a proper subset? This is a noun, so it's not very clear. It's a noun. Noun set. Is noun set proper subset of this set itself? Please, so let's try. Anyone, if you don't know, never mind, but just try. Who say yes? It's a proper subset of that. Who say no? Thank you for trying. Okay, for those who are not very sure, in fact, this one is something that I explained yesterday, but don't worry, because I think it's too long a session yesterday, I must admit, but I really need to go through that. Just like noun set is something like a 0 in a whole number. 0. 0, is it smaller than any other smaller or equals to any other whole number? Whole number is actually starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, correct? Am I right to say that? So see, so the smallest of all is a 0. Out of the whole number, the smallest is a 0. That's the smallest it can go. Okay, so 0 must be smaller or equals to any other numbers. Agree? So this is the same concept. Noun set is an empty basket. Empty basket. It's still a basket, but it's empty. So the empty basket must be a smallest set, which is must always be a proper subset of any other set. Okay, so remember the concept. If you can't remember, you just try to recall that. Okay, an empty set is always a subset of anything else. 0 is always smaller or equals to anything, any other number, whole number. Okay, so this is a concept you can try to link to. In fact, yesterday I mentioned this one. I don't know if I've written down. Okay, so empty set or null set is always a subset of another set. Okay, so this is something I've written down on my notes itself. Okay, so please take note. So in this case, so this is a star question. So this is a subset. Okay, I'm gonna give you a quick 3 minutes break. Go and wash up, go and do walk a bit and everything. Okay, so if you want to continue do some work, this is the time that I want you all to try on your own. And